You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, all you weirdos. Jim here. And is anybody excited about the Marvel event coming up, the Blood Hunt? Because I don't hear anybody talking about it. I have been meaning to do a video on this, kind of previewing it, seeing, if anybody cares about it. And each day that I go to record something, they keep dropping more and more tie-ins, more and more issues of this. I don't get it. I think somebody at Marvel has lost their damn minds, especially coming out of, say, a gang war that didn't end up hitting months and months of that. And if you are even a Star Wars fan, we had events going on there. These events are starting to wear me down. And I think that they're starting to wear a lot of people down. But again, this video is kind of a, hey, anybody into this? And then we'll talk about the idea that it is blown up into just phenomenal proportions of tie-ins and one-shots and nonsense. And every time one of those things is announced, I shake my head because it does not seem like anybody's going to get involved in any of this. But here is what Marvel told me in a press release email of what Blood Hunt is. And it's weird, too, because me saying this is old news. I'm not even going to hit breaking news because it's not breaking news. This has been announced a while back. I don't hear anybody talking. Not one person has said, hey, Jim, what's up with that Blood Hunt, right? And so maybe this is to get us all on board a bit, but I don't want to get anybody on board the craziness of what ends up being. And, sit down real quick, over 40 issues for this nonsense. The dawn of a new Marvel era begins this spring in Blood Hunt, a crossover epic from Avengers scribe Jed MacKay and acclaimed X-Men artists Pepe Larraz and Marte Garcia. Blood Hunt will command its own main limited series, as well as tie-in issues and spin-off limited series. As Eternal Night takes hold of the Marvel Universe, an overwhelming army of blood-sucking terrors will emerge. Probably not as sexy as it sounds, united by a single vision for the first time in millennia. To keep them at bay, a new world order may need to be put in place. Okay, you're going to get Marvel Universe versus vampires. It's kind of funny, too, because when you had, say, Tom Taylor do Deceased, people ended up, all they're doing is Marvel Zombies over at DC. I saw one little bit where the only reaction I see to this is, it's Marvel doing DC versus vampires at Marvel. These stories are kind of universal, but that also makes them kind of dime a dozen in my mind. We'll see how the actual story is. Jed MacKay, people love Jed MacKay's Moon Knight. Maybe they like the Avengers book. I'm not really that into it myself, but by the end, we'll even see that a lot of this is going to involve a lot of the characters that Jed MacKay writes, and say even Doctor Strange, a book that I don't hear many people talk about. And when you think of this whole play and I hear this story, it feels like something that could just be in the Avengers book. Or if you really wanted to, tie it in with, his other Doctor Strange and also the Avengers Doctor Strange. What am I missing? Moon Knight. That's what I'm missing. Just do it in that. So then you get, okay, the Jed MacKay fans, whatnot. But boy, you are almost keeping people hostage with the amount of books. Now, you don't have to buy them all, but there's people who have to be completists, that you get a lot of the story in that. I don't know. But here is more of the description of the event. The skies have gone dark. They have. The sun hiding its face from the carnage to come. Oh, my goodness. When I hear that, I think of that really weird, wacky sun and like the Teletubbies that always freak me out with that baby in it. Really weirded me out. The children of the night, the vampires, have risen from the dark and hidden places of the world as one to drown the Marvel Universe in blood. And probably drink it then. Earth's final night has fallen. Can even the heroes of this doomed world stem the tide of blood that is yet to come? Again, this is going to be a ton of issues, over 40 issues. Now, you keep going here and you're going to mention Cat, and it doesn't feel big to get. Join the Avengers, Blade, Bloodline, Spider-Man. All right, Hunter's Moon. Okay. Tigra, Doctor Strange, Clea, as the dance of death begins. And the dance of death it always has a very fickle partner. I just wanted to make something up. But all in all, yeah, there's a lot of these tie-ins are being announced already. And I might do like a solicits video type of deal on some of them. But I remember the first one that ended up being announced, it was the T'Challa one. And the writer, a woman writing it, I ended up, I want to see what's going on with that. And I went over to, they had already blocked me preemptively, already knowing that I was probably going to talk a lot of shit on it. So they ended up, it's like, that gets me going. That gets me excited. But do we need this many issues for a story that I don't see many people excited for? And if you are excited for it, does the amount of issues turn you off? Because if anything that I think all of the comic book fandom, I don't know if you know this, they're at each other's throats. Everybody's fighting and fighting about everything. I think we could all come together and agree that we don't need this many issues in events anymore. We don't need event after event after an event. It's the idea, it's a relay race. Every event ends by just passing the baton to what starts off the next week, another event and another event. You get an event, you get an event. It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts because I feel like I have to read and review them all. And then at the end, I'm just left in a pile of goo, right? It doesn't even make sense. That's how upset I am. But we'll see. Just tell me in the comments, are you excited about Blood Hunt? Is this something that you are more excited that it's big, it's bigger than I thought? Or does that turn you off? Because personally, myself, I just think it's too overblown. And I think that it's nonsense. And these things, they got to stop. They have to stop. But we'll see. We'll see what everybody thinks in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Tell your friends, tell your family, buy some Sham Wow, do it all. And then at the end, I could at least say, look, and this is to my wife because she's always giving me crap. Look at how many people subscribe today. Like I am something. They all like me. See, that's how you have to do it. But all in all, thanks everybody. I will probably put together some things on the tie-ins just so we can laugh at this even more. But I will talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.